Hey guys, Lent is upon us. It is 2 days officially until the start, and if you are seeing this video after Lent has already started, keep watching. It's okay. This will all still apply to you. I just kind of wanted to give you some ideas of what I do with my family, and maybe that can help encourage you to kind of include your kids in the Lenten preparation as well. If you don't know, Lent is a time of preparation. It's a time where we get ready and honor and remember the suffering that Jesus went through in order to give us new life and to have his resurrection on Easter. So we prepare our bodies, we prepare our souls for that. And it lasts about 40 days. Actually, exactly 40 days. It lasts 40 days, about 6 weeks. It may seem like a little bit more than that if you count on the calendar, because Sundays are not included in Lent. You do not have to do whatever it is you give up or whatever on Sundays. That is a special day, doesn't count towards Lent. It's also a time of fasting. We don't eat meat on Fridays. I mean, I guess we don't eat meat any Fridays of the year, but in general, a lot of Catholics do not eat meat during Lent, so you'll see that. And yeah, so here are some things that we do. First off, we talk with our kids about what we are going to be giving up or what we are going to be doing extra of in order to, have a good Lenten season. They, as kids, might not be perfect with that, and that is totally okay. They don't need to be perfect with it, especially if your kids are kind of on the younger end like mine are. But it's the trying that counts, and it's the thought, and it's the execution that might not be perfect, but it is the thought. And as their parent, you can help them as much as you can to be able to achieve or remind or do some things with them in order to achieve, their Lenten promises. So you could give some things up. You could give up your favorite snack, desserts. You could only drink water, so giving up pop and all other juices, that sort of thing. You could give up fast food if that's something you eat a lot and your kids really like. You could give up screen time. You could find something to donate, give away like physical things, whether it's toy or clothes or just something. And you could use that every day of Lent, 40 days. So that is something that you could do. You can also choose to do extra of something, or you could do both. It doesn't matter, but you could choose to add in an extra prayer every day, or do a family rosary, or pray the Stations of the Cross, or read about a saint every day, just those sorts of things. As a parent, we start kind of talking about this stuff a little bit before Lent starts, just general, not picking anything, but just talking about it to have it on their mind. And then tomorrow, so like Fat Tuesday, that is when we kind of all at dinner time will sit down and like really kind of choose what it is and tell each other, to hold each other accountable, what it is that we are doing extra or giving up that year. So that is when we do it. You can choose to do it when you want, but that is our tradition. For myself, if you're just curious, I am giving up the screen past a certain point, and I am forcing myself to wake up right when my alarm goes off. No snoozing, no excuses because I stayed up too late, but I am lights off by 10:30 no matter what, and I am up. I haven't decided for sure. I'll decide tomorrow for sure if it's gonna be 5 or 5:30. That is gonna be extremely hard for me. I'm really not looking forward to it, but that's just what it is. I'm also going to be adding in some prayers daily and probably reading about a saint each morning. I typically give up sweets as well. I'm not doing that this year only because I just did a cleanse, like a 3-week no nothing not long ago, and so it's not really a problem for me right now. I'm not abusing them like I typically do, so that's just not what I need right now this year. But that is something I normally do. Another thing I like to do with my kiddos is a crown of thorns. So this is it, if you're curious. And you can make one too, it's super easy. This is made out of Play-Doh. I just got a few strips of Play-Doh, rolled them out like a snake, and then twisted them together to kind of make the crown. If you don't want to waste your Play-Doh that you have to do this, I think you can get it for 50 cents or 75 cents at Target or Walmart. For a jug, I would get 2 browns and you should have enough to make this. So I made a crown out of Play-Doh, and then I just put toothpicks in it for the thorns. And what we will do is this will be kind of just on display in our dining room, like where we eat, that sort of thing, so that it can constantly be seen. It's again a reminder of why we are in this season, Jesus' suffering. Then the kids, the goal for the 40 days is to do enough good deeds so that the thorns are all gone. So every time they do a good deed, they can pull out a toothpick here, and we are one less on here. This is just such a good visual representation for the kids. And the good thing is you really could reuse it if you want. You can let this Play-Doh dry out. The holes for the toothpicks would be there. You could put them back in at the end. And as long as you kind of keep it safe, it would be, you know, reusable. So you would only have to do it once if you want, or you can just redo it every year. Doesn't matter. Like I said, it's pretty cheap to make. Just need some toothpicks and the Play-Doh. So that is another thing I really like to do with my kids. The next thing we do is like a little countdown game. So I will link this in the description because it is a freebie on my website. If you just sign up for my newsletter, you can download it for free. And it's basically a countdown to Lent being over. And I have two versions. One of them is blank. So if your child decides to give up soda, for example, every day that they do that, they can give themselves a star and, you know, weave their way and count their way till the end of Lent, something like that. Or you can, I have one that has like little things written in it. So give your sibling a hug, pray for your parents, do an extra chore today, just little things that they can do, one thing a day that kind of changes it up. And I have it on like a little, you know, grid type thing. And then again, they can cross it out or they can put a star on it each day. And then by the end, it will be Easter. So I have those for you. They are free on my website. There are others out there too, I believe. Just probably search Google. You might have to pay for them. But yeah, if you want mine for free, you can just go grab it from my website. My kids like this. Again, it is just a visual representation of how much longer they have until Easter and that sort of thing. Because Lent can be really tough and long, especially for little kids. Another thing I definitely tried to do with them is get them to Stations of the Cross at least once during Lent. It is hard because a lot of times it's not till like 7 p.m. at churches where that's like prime going to sleep time. Thankfully it's on a Friday, so if they're gonna stay up late once, it's on a Friday, but I get it, it's hard. But I would recommend trying to do it at least once, and if you don't wanna take them, I would recommend if you get a little booklet, or you can even just look up the pictures online, just look at the pictures and talk about what's going on in each one. Usually the pictures are not gory. They're not like too, you know, sensitive for kids. It's something that they could see and just talk about the story with, but it really does give, again, another visual representation of exactly what this season is about, what's going on, helps them understand that sort of thing. So I do like to try to get to church during stations at least once, but again, if you can't, just show them the pictures, pick a day. Another thing we do is an extra family rosary. So I say a rosary every single day. My husband says his daily rosary, and a lot of times mine is in the car, and I put it through the speakers so the kids can hear it when I'm doing it, so they kind of are saying it too. On Sundays when we are headed to church, we say a family rosary in the car, but during Lent, we add in one more family rosary. So typically, again, on a Friday, because that is Friday, the day of that he died. So Friday, we like to do that, a family rosary, where we all get together, we all kneel down, we all say it. It's a really good Lenten practice. It's a good practice just in general to say your rosary every day, but adding one more time where everybody comes together and just says it. It's a great family value, and if you can't do it at all, except for during Lent, that's fine, but it is something really good to add for Lent. And then finally, the last thing we kind of do is we add 5 minutes of cuddle time per kid into our routines. And we do that because there are a lot of questions that come up during the Lenten season. When you are learning about something like this, a lot of questions come up. And when you're doing certain things, just questions come up. And when we do cuddle time, it's not necessarily a time where we bring up a topic and talk about it. It's really a time where we just spend touching them, quality time. And if something happens to come up where they have a question, then we can answer it at that time. It is already pre-Lent, and we have just, you know, started thinking about what we're going to give up, just like generally speaking about it. And there's already been questions from especially my oldest. So I know that this time is going to be really valuable. And if at nothing else, it's just really good quality touch time with your kids. So we do like to do that during Lent just because, again, it answers their questions if they have them, or if we want to tell them something, you know, you did really good at your thing you gave up, I'm really proud of you. It's a good time for that too. And it is encouraging and that sort of thing. So those are the things that we do at my house. I'm sure there are other traditions out there too, but if you want to get your kids involved, I do recommend it. And these are maybe some ways that you can try to incorporate it. So download that freebie if you want it, make yourself a crown of thorns, and I hope you have a very good Lenten season. See you in the next one. Bye.